Hello, everyone. Welcome to Take the Black Live, the one and the only, yet only show on the internet. We talk about things like pop culture, TV, movies, dragons, space lasers, fantasy, sci-fi, swords. Did I say dragons? We talk about dragons twice. I am Dan Selcke, the editor of winterscoming.net, here with winterscoming.net contributor Camila Servello. Camila, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. Also, did I pronounce your last name correctly?
Yeah, you did. You
All
did.
right, good. I mean, that's what it sounds, but sometimes it can be deceptive. Daniel Roman usually does this show, but he is currently busy literally battling a sentient snowicane that is attacking his upper New York State home. Maybe he'll stop by, or maybe he has his hands too busy with the fleet of abominable snowmen currently ransacking his place. But Camilla, you're here, and we have a pretty big slate to talk about.
Yes, we do. Let's do it.
As Julie says, don't tell me Daniel's in trouble again. Julie, Daniels always seems to be in trouble. It literally is like, again, I'm going to briefly rag on Daniel Roman, and then we're going to move on. Just he lives in this kind of rural part of upstate New York. Where just I'm a city mouse guy. It's hard for me to get my head around this, but where just he's very exposed to the elements, and sometimes the elements are just they prevent him from being able to fully participate in an internet-based job. Is what's happening now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he is definitely inside of a mech suit fighting a kaiju-sized snowman, definitely for sure.
Pretty
Aim to
much. I
see
mean,
him.
Camilla, does weather ever shut your like life down?
Oh
Or
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. So before I started working from home, like it was definitely a problem, especially because I worked in the airline industry for well over a decade. So snow
Oh, of
and
course.
flights are not fun. So yeah, it's not fun. It's fun now because I get to sit at home and watch it, but yeah, it wasn't fun before.
Well, I mean, yeah, like the airline industry, that's like the it's got to be like one of the number one industries that gets hurt by weather stuff. I mean, Southwest, Christmas time, good Lord. Whereas as long as I have an internet connection, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I can do just everything from my little fort. Have all
So,
everything that I could possibly need.
God bless. So we will pray for Daniel. In the meantime, let's talk about House of the
F
Dragon.
in the
Let's talk
chat.
about DC. Let's talk about The Last of Us. First things first, we got some new fun House of the Dragon news, and thank you for all the well wishes from commenters. By the way, folks saying hello to you, Camilla,
Oh my
as
goodness. One of them
Julie
is my
says.
father.
Oh, is that Volmar
Yeah,
Dominguez?
Valmar is my dad.
Okay, hi, Camilla's dad. I mean,
Oh, that's great. Hi,
we take all
dad.
comers. Anyway, we have a bit of news from the scoop section of the internet. It says that House of the Dragon, the popular Game of Thrones prequel show on HBO, will start filming its sophomore season, second season, on March 6th in London and Spain. Not a huge update, but just it's going to happen. Yippee-ki-yay. So next month, they'll start
Yeah.
filming. We'll bring you pictures. We'll bring you rumors. We'll bring you splash pages of, people leaking information to us. It'll be very fun. It's always fun when they're filming stuff and we get to like kind of see a hazy image of a person in a costume and a hairnet in a distance and go like, I wonder what they're doing.
Yes, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see the first pictures. I can't wait to see like the supplemental cast. Whoever there's a specific character that I always had the stupid hope that I would get to audition for and play, but that's
Really?
gone. Yeah,
Ooh, which one?
Alice Rivers.
Alice Rivers? Yeah, yeah. Really? So you want to be
Yeah.
Alice Rivers? That's interesting.
Oh my God, I wish. I totally wish, but it's never gonna happen. But that's with them like starting like the filming and everything. I'm really curious to see if they have like the rest of the cast all settled.
The second season of House of the Dragon is kind of like season 2 of Game of Thrones, whereas they're going to bring in a lot of new people. Like we're going
Oh
to bring
yes.
in like all the dragon seeds this year. Probably we'll probably meet Nettles and
Yes.
the
Nettles is gonna
Hulls,
be fun.
Alan, and yeah, and Nettles should be a good role. Alice
Yeah,
Rivers.
Nettles gonna be
I'm
great.
sorry, I'm stuck on this. Are you an actor, or you just want, or more just an
No,
Alice
no, no,
Rivers
no.
fan?
I wanted. I like. I love acting. I do a little bit of like. I guess let's call it improvise. Like, oh my god, I can't talk.
Improv?
Improv acting on the side. But no, I want to be an actor since I was 5. But it's again, it's at that point in my life where literally nothing is pointing that way. So it's like whatever.
It's never too late. Like, folk, I think Samuel L. Jackson was in his first movie at like 40. That
Yeah,
could
I
be
think so.
completely apocryphal, but whatever. And just my final question here: anything about Alice Rivers in particular that you are drawn to?
Um,
The
Amen.
mystery?
Amen,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
Amen is my favorite character in Fire and Blood. I know I've read it obviously. I
Sure.
am aware of things. Still my favorite character, and I love Erin for playing him so flawlessly. Um, I she's cool. Like Game of Thrones has Melisandre.
Yeah.
Fire and Blood kind of has Alice a little bit. So I'm not going to say a lot just because I don't want to be like, you're talking about it and you're going to spoil it. No, I'm not going to spoil anything. She's just cool. She's different. She's cool.
They're all about it's all about towing the line. So if you're not aware, Alice Rivers is a character from Fire and Blood who will very likely see in season 2 House of the Dragon, who is stop me if I think I'm going too far inaccurate, a woman of mystery, um,
Mm-hmm.
a magically inclined woman at
Mm-hmm.
Harrenhal who will go on to exercise and influence you might not suspect she would have based on her humble beginnings. And she may or may not get involved with the one and only one-eyed thirst trap, Aemon Targaryen.
I couldn't have put it better.
I
Perfect.
hope we see her too. As
It's
Julie
true.
says, follow your dreams, Camilla.
Oh yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me in a movie in like 3 years in the background going, "I made it," and then that's it. We'll see.
We
But no,
also got
I'm
some.
excited about her. Oh, sorry.
Oh, very good. We also got some news about them casting young twins, so probably
Yes,
for the blood and cheese scene, which
yes.
everyone keeps
Oh,
talking about. And
I
I don't want to spoil that too much, but it's a big one from Fire and Blood. Honestly, I don't know. Like it's
I wouldn't say I just wouldn't say anything because it's just one of those things that it's just like, did that really just happen? That like I want to see my friends cry. Is that bad?
Do you think they'll cry though? Because I'll say this about Blood and Cheese. Like folks are like it's the Red Wedding, the House of the Dragon, but like, is it because the characters involved we don't
Right,
really
right.
know as well as we did like Catelyn and
I
Rob and stuff
think
at that point?
because the person that the people who suffer from that scenario, the person
Mhm.
they're attached to,
Sure.
um, that person doesn't deserve any of that.
No,
And
no,
it is
they do not.
and it's just it's gonna be one of those again like really shocking like did they really just do this and it's I don't know if they're gonna cry. I mean, I probably will because I cry really easily watching
Sure,
anything
absolutely.
remotely emotional. But it's definitely gonna shock people, and I want to see people's reactions. Yes, curious to see how they handle blood and cheese. Definitely, Natalie. I'm curious to see how they handle it, and I'm curious to see the reception of how they handle it. Like, I want my friends to text me, like, "Why didn't you tell me this was gonna happen?"
I can definitely see me in a state of shock. I'm not sure it'll be like sadness. I think they have to do a little work building up the characters. Like I'd imagine they're gonna have it a
I don't
bit
think they
into the
will.
season. You don't?
I
You think
don't.
they're just kind of
No,
smack it?
I. It's just gonna because it's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be, if not the majority of episode one, like half of one, and the finishing act of it on episode 2, but I think it's going to be right
I can see
away
that. I
just
can see
because
that.
it's that fresh response. Rhaenyra's like
Right.
just wants people to pay for it, and I think the payment is fast. I can't
Oh, this is
remember how
Dan.
fast it is in the book, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty fast.
Oh, like Daniel pointed out, it's like on the same page or something, like after Luke dies, or like a page later.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Um,
it's
I don't think it'll be that fast on the show, but I'm looking forward to it. Should be interesting. I'm looking forward to reactions, of course.
I'm
And of
looking
course, as
forward.
Natalie says, it was a huge deal, just like of entertainment, thinking like a entertainment website developer, which we all are. G2 World. And as Cassandra asks, when will they release the casting news? Probably not for a minute, Cassandra. It depends on whether they want to get out ahead of the leaks or if they want to defy them and just act like the people don't already know already and release the information afterwards. So we'll see what tack they take. I hope they get it ahead of it. I think
I
it was
hope so
always
too.
it's so funny watching different studios try to deal with the nature of leaks and spoilers because they're everywhere. Thanks in part to Game of Thrones was the series where it's like journalists made this little industry of releasing spoilers and stuff, and now
Oh
you
yeah,
cannot avoid it. And part of me, like, if I were a studio, I would just say, like, whatever, just tell them who we're casting, tell them what's happening. They're gonna know anyway. We might as well be
yeah,
the ones to say it, is my thought.
yeah.
But folk like Marvel are still very much like, only take this tunnel under the building and wear this hood, put on this mustache and like fake nose, and we'll try to hide everything. It'll be very secret.
Crime hoodie. Yeah, the
Crime party.
yeah, crime hoodie. But I also what was something else that I was going to say? I'm also excited about Craig and Stark. I want to see
Oh, that should
who's
be good
going to
too.
play
Yeah.
him. Um, and like he's a cool guy.
A lot of good roles for
That's
like
all.
good chances for actors to really make their mark, you know? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
could see the person playing Nettles becoming a favorite. I could
Oh,
see
he
Kristen Start becoming a
definitely.
favorite. I could see Alan of Hull becoming a favorite. There are a lot of characters coming up, but
Yeah.
like you could definitely, I'm sure there's like actors are just salivating to try and get in there and see if they can
Yeah,
get a hunk of it. But we'll see all that
definitely.
soon enough. Meanwhile, Camilla, I know you've been on a bit of a Marvel binge lately, which, by the way, thank you. You're doing the Lord's work for us. I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the post you're writing. But have you been following the big explosion out of DC world in the past couple of days?
I no, I've been nose deep in the MCU since Friday. I have watched all 30 movies from
Damn.
Friday until this morning when Wakanda Forever came out on Disney
Respect. Very
Plus,
much
and
respect.
I watched it. Oh, I love those movies. I'm like a quiet Marvel fan, but I love the movies. I love the MCU. I love everything about it, and like I can watch those movies until like I don't think I'd ever get sick of them. Um, but no, I have not. Because of this, I have not seen anything. What's going on in the
Perfect.
DCU? Tell me about it,
I
Dan.
love it. Okay. I will. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going because yesterday the new DC Studios president, James Gunn, formerly Marvel guy, Guardians of the Galaxy guy, he and his sort of silent CEO partner, Peter Safran. James Gunn loves to talk. Do you know about James Gunn? I was watching the interviews. He loves to talk. And then Peter Safran, who was his like co-CEO, like types in with like 2 words every other like sentence. It's very, very funny.
It's like
But
Penn and
anyway,
Teller.
yes, it is. James Gunn
It's
is a
just like Penn and Teller.
blabbermouth. It's a, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. He just like that is a guy who, if you are at dinner with him, you're gonna listen to him. He's gonna be the one talking.
Yeah.
But anyway, he revealed basically the big 8 to 10 year plan for DC. He revealed a bunch of
Oh
different shows and
yes.
movies. And because you haven't known any of them, what I'm going to do, I think, and all of you out there too listening, I'm going to say, I think all 9 of the new things he said are coming. And you're going to tell
Okay.
me how cool they sound on a scale of 0 being you cannot be less interested to 10 being to see them right now.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone out there, you
Okay.
can play too. And hello, Jay. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. All right, so bunch of crap they're making. They're trying to kind of revive the DC universe. It's been in disarray for a while. They never quite. They always wanted to be Marvel. They never quite could be. And Camilla, are you interested in watching Creature Commandos, an animated series about some military superheroes set during World War II, maybe? Gut reaction.
Zero.
Zero. I kind of agree with you. That one was like, okay, sure, whatever.
No.
Okay, off to a bad start here for the new DCU. Next up, they're making a show called Waller, which stars Viola Davis as I know, right? It's not bad. As Amanda Waller, who is this DC operative. She's actually played this character in other movies like Suicide Squad and something else. Where she's gonna be with the Peacemaker people from that one show.
Okay.
It'll be like an HBO Max show where Viola Davis is a badass and she's commanding DC anti-heroes to go do dirty deeds for her.
Well, you said HBO is doing it, so that is at least a 5.
Well, Max, so HBO Light.
3.
I'm gonna give it I'll go 5. I think Viola Davis is talented, and
I have this thing where I'm not. I have never seen a DC movie that I've liked, save for
sure, I agree with you.
Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have not seen any other. I haven't had any interest to see any other DC movies, so I'm curious. I would probably watch that one.
I mean, I liked the old Tim Burton ones, but this is all still long before like it's modern DC,
Right,
with like Henry
right.
Cavill and such.
Yeah.
As a synchronicity, I'm glad you guys are all participating. 1 and 7, says Julie. Okay, next up, we have a brand new Superman movie called Superman Legacy. It's about all we know about it. They're not going to cast Henry Cavill. Going to be somebody new, somebody younger. I think he wants like a younger Superman. It's not an origin story, they said, but that's about all we know. New Superman movie, younger actor, red tights, or is it blue tights? Whatever.
Blue tights with like red socks.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Interested?
I'll give it a 7. I'm not a Superman fan, but I'll give it a 7.
Superman has a hard time kind of, I don't know, getting a foothold.
I just have a hard time liking it.
I agree.
To me, it's just it's the superhero like cliche kind of. I don't know, which is weird because here I am obsessed with MCU, but then when it's Superman who only has like all those powers, I'm just like, nah, pass. Like I don't know. I don't know if it's the presentation or the different tones in the DCU versus the MCUs. I don't know, whatever.
No, I know what you mean. But Julie's into it. Julie's into it 8. I'll give it a 6. Sure, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And synchronicity is being quite saucy over on YouTube about Tim Burton. Blah, blah, blah. Keep it coming. I'm curious where that's going. Next up. Okay. Actually, this one sounds kind of cool to me. Lanterns, which is an HBO show, not HBO Max, in the style of True Detective about Green Lanterns who are like these.
10.
Frankly, this is the one that I was like, this sounds the most interesting.
Yes,
because
I would watch
I don't know
that.
much about Green Lantern, but they're like space policemen, I think.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be 2 of them, and they're going to investigate like a really seedy mystery or something, and occasionally they'll have powers. And HBO's making it, so that sounds, yeah, sure, I'll get behind that one.
I'll watch that one.
Yeah, I can work with that. Next up is The Authority, a movie about a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. Apparently it's based in the comic. I never heard of it. James Gunn's really into it. It's a passion project of his.
A group of superheroes broken and they want to fix it.
No, they think like, the world is broken and they want to fix the broken world by any means necessary. Okay. I'm getting like moral ambiguity vibes, like when do the heroes go too far and become the villains? If I'm a screenwriter, I'm thinking
Yeah.
this. I'll go 4. I like that James Gunn really likes it. Sometimes that can translate into a big thing. Also,
Yeah.
we're like 5 deep. There's a lot of stuff coming. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think, like, I don't know, maybe just like choose the 2 or 3 that are really, really good. And we can like leave that first one I even forgot the name of for, like, I don't know, the dustbin of history.
Yes.
Okay. Next up is Paradise Lost, which is a TV show. They didn't say if it's on HBO Max, or something else or whatever, about Paradise Island, which is where Wonder Woman is from. It's a Game of Thrones like show about the place where Wonder Woman comes from, where there's all these super strong women, Amazons, and I guess they're going to be scheming and plotting or something if it's like Game of Thrones. They didn't say if Wonder Woman's involved. It's just like where she's from and the folk who hang out there, what they're doing. Which makes me think she isn't involved, but they didn't say she was. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, no, I think they're just using her like, oh, this is where Wonder Woman's from, just to lure people in.
Right.
Like a 2.
Julie's into a 9. Julie likes this one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I go higher than 2. I want to see more. I will put it at a 5. I'm cautiously optimistic. Show me something that looks good. Okay,
I
next
agree
up.
with Natalie. I agree with Natalie when they say that she loves it when filmmakers say that they're making something like Game of Thrones. No, you're not. Nobody can make Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones. You can try it, but
I mean, even if you are, like, don't say it. Like, it's probably not a good idea to just invite that comparison.
You want Game of Thrones comparison? Use Tywin's own words. A king does not have to say that he is king.
Good call.
Don't call your show a Game of Thrones show when it isn't. If it is, it will show itself. It will, like,
it's like, yeah. Let me decide if it's like Game of Thrones. Like, don't tell me it's like that. You set yourself up for failure. Okay. Yeah. Next up, we have a new Batman movie, which, by the way, is going to be in addition to the Robert Pattinson Batman, which is its own separate series, and in addition to the Joker movies, their own separate series. It's going to be 3 Batman movie franchises going on at once. This one's called The Brave and the Bold, and it will be about Batman and his son Damian Wayne, who is, I think, the current Robin in the comics. I will say they don't have Robin much on the big screen, not for many years. So that's kind of a new angle. I'm going to go ahead and give that a 7, because something about Batman always kind of brings people back. I mean, you probably could have 3 different movie series and still make bank on it. And maybe bringing in a Robin would be a little different, because they never do that anymore.
I want the Robin that would be the real life equivalent of Teen Titans. Not Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Robin.
Okay. What's he like?
He's awesome. He's like sassy, and he thinks he's like really smart. You've never seen Teen Titans?
I never have. No, I know what it is. I've heard of it, but I never watched that particular program.
The original was very entertaining. The remake, but the original was very entertaining. I don't know. I guess I'll give it like a 6.
Oh, okay, we're going up. Julie is on the 4 train, because I mean there has been a lot of Batman the past few years. I don't blame him. It's a lot. And by the way, all of this is supposed to be the same interconnected universe. They're trying to go for that. How are there going to
be 3 Batman timelines?
No. Like all the new shows that I've said, like the Wonder Woman story and this new Batman thing, the new Superman thing, and the Waller thing. Those are all the same. Robert Pattinson is in his own universe. Joaquin Phoenix is in his own universe, but the rest of these are all together. Okay, we have 3 left. We're like almost done. Booster Gold. It's a show about a guy from DC Comics who's like a loser from the distant future who uses technology to time travel back and become a superhero. He's kind of like lonely and wants to be loved. We're talking funny here. This is like a funny comedy. He's like a lovable loser type. And do anything for you?
I don't like comedies. Surprise. I don't like comedies. I'll give it like a 1. Yeah. I don't like it. But I feel like lately things that are funny try to overdo their funny to really make you laugh. Like I don't. I'm trying to think. And whatever, I'll think of an example later. But I'm really picky with like funny shows or shows that aren't like drama or thriller and stuff.
Fair enough. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Julie's into it. For 7. And Booster Gold, I know. I think Richard's into it because he's been around this guy for a while. 7. I'll give it a 5. At least sounds a little different.
Give Natalie a high 5. She doesn't like comedies either.
Next up, we have 2 more. Almost done. We have Supergirl, World of Tomorrow, which is a movie. It's this. He described it as a big science fiction epic film. So Supergirl. I learned this from James Gunn. She grew up on like a bit of the little Krypton thing. Superman grew up on this little planet and he gets sent away. It's a whole thing. She grew up on like a shard of Krypton and she sees tragedy growing up, and now she's gonna be a big sci-fi hero, big bombastic movie. Kabam. It's a 1. Okay. Any particular reason? I think I give it a 6.
6, okay. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I really want to get into DC so bad. I don't know. Maybe
there's a lot
one day.
to do out in life, and
Yeah.
and again, they're making 9 of these. Just
That's too much.
the
I feel like
further
that's
goes
just
in the
bait.
list.
I feel that's 100% just bait. Like, take all of these, let's look at the reactions, and then we'll pick the ones that had the best reactions, like
Ooh, you
formats, and we'll
think?
do it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what I would do. Like, hey guys, check this out. What do you think? No, okay, won't do this one. Like, grab the ones that.
I like the making it rain there. I don't know. I feel like that the studio is like they're saying, bring us a Marvel, bring us an MCU. Like you have
can't
to have
do that.
1,000. I know. Nobody
like,
can.
It's crazy. Like, sure, it's 2 superhero franchises. Yes, Marvel is a playful, quirky, very like it's not like a superhero trope. They're not cliches by any means.
No.
The Avengers, they're really not. They're really cool. They like it's just it's okay to be wrong. I'm just kidding. It's a more lighthearted with like but it still touches on heavy subjects. Meanwhile, I have DC and it's like I am the night. It's like no, it's just I can't get into it. I cannot get into it.
If there's a balance, they have not found it yet. I mean,
no.
I get down on Marvel for kind of producing some things that kind of feel, I don't know, just not really distinct enough. But at the end of the day, like their house style has allowed them to have a consistency that really does make everything feel of a piece. Like I respect the hell out of them from a business perspective. What they've done is really amazing. And yet DC just hasn't. Okay, we have one more. We have one last one.
One more.
And it's definitely the one everyone's gonna. I mean, I don't know what to. Swamp Thing is a. Ooh, here we go. You love this. Very dark horror story that is
10.
Totally. Swamp Thing's like an old. Again, I'm not a big comics guy, but like I don't know. He's like a monster from the swamp, and he's all into. I think his like stories also have like environmental themes, and he protects the swamp, and he can use powers in the swamp. I'm not really sure. Although I like that James Gunn said that this one is totally outside the rest of the DCU, but will still feed into the rest of the stories. I have no idea how that works, but maybe it can be in 2 places at once. You give it a 10. Maybe. I will again. I'm gonna again give it a 5, a nice judicious 5, because I'm not sure I trust
0.
this. Swamp Thing. Christian's in for Swamp Thing.
I just like horror. Like
horror's cool.
If they do something like I'm one of those people that think Multiverse of Madness is an awesome movie, and I absolutely
liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It gets a lot of hate, which I understand. There's a bunch of plot holes and but they could have just, I get it. But with it taking it as it is, like it's the horror elements, so cool. I would love to see like a horror superhero movie, and they almost did it. with that one.
They did. I liked that about it. I liked the like the blood pumping through it. Like I liked that
Yes.
there was some just kind of ooey gooey, spooky kind of this kind of in your face horror imagery that they really went for. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I need an airtight plot, but I want my superhero movie that I don't really care that
Yeah.
much. I want to be entertained, and that entertained me.
Yes, definitely. That is definitely how I see it too. I just want to be entertained.
I mean, it depends because, like, for a thing like House of the Dragon, I kind of do want that to all fit and be just so. But I don't know. For Doctor Strange too, just show me a good time. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Just show me pretty things.
those are our DC things.
That's
Maybe it'll
awesome.
be a huge success. Maybe
We'll
it'll crater again. We'll see. I like the discussion, you guys. Christian Hanna is in the Swamp Thing. He is a longtime character. Which wants Booster Gold. Julie, thank you for putting all the numbers, Julie. You'll see how it goes, man. First, we got to get through the Shazam movie and the Flash movie with Human Wrecking Ball Ezra Miller and the second Aquaman movie and all that stuff.
No. Oh. Well, I'm hoping James Gunn can get me interested in DC because again, like I have never seen a single like Superman or Wonder Woman or anything. Like I just can't get into it. So
yeah,
you got this, Mr. Gunn. Make me want to watch.
Do it. Okay, but one thing that we are both watching, and I think we both enjoyed, is The Last of Us on the HBO. Now, just remind me, you played the game, I think?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I did too.
2013, not 2003. Oh. I said 2003 last time, and then I told my husband about it. He's like, 2003, really? It's 2013, sorry.
I mean,
yes, it did.
Time travel exists. Cool. And this latest episode, which was called Long, Long Time, was definitely, I think, the episode that in a way will make or break the show because it was extremely bold. It really it told something new that wasn't really in the original game. It did something pretty daring for any TV show to tell this big, epic, decades-long gay love story. And when I watched the screener for this, first I teared up a little bit, then I missed it, and then I thought, like, people are either going to love the crap out of this, and the internet will be falling over itself praising it, or there's going to be a huge backlash. And I think now that it's out, I can say that it was pretty much in the love category.
It was very much in the love category. Especially, like, I have been dreading that, and I had also been dreading two other people who I would not say their names because if you meet them in the show and you're like, oh no, that's the one she was talking about. So I'm not going to say anything. But there's two other people that you're going to meet down the road that I'm dreading. Maybe if they put that in. But when they introduced Bill, having played the game, I'm like, oh God, like, here we go. But it was so different. And it was, instead of, do you know how it differs from the game? I'm assuming, yes. Okay.
I played the game back in the day.
Oh, and yeah, that's right.
I've kind of like forgotten big chunks of it, but I know that we obviously, I mean, this kind of thing is a thing that you couldn't have in a game. You obviously couldn't take a break to, I mean, like,
watch
what is the gameplay? Like, hit the X button to tenderly play a Linda Ronstadt song and fall in love. It wouldn't really work.
No.
This would only work in a TV show, and they took advantage of that. They said, we're going to fill in this gap with something brand new. I was really pulled in by it. Like, it was it was very tender and deliberate, and they gave it the time it needed to kind of sit and settle and just be at peace with itself. And I totally did messed up. I thought it was very, very affecting. I thought it really worked, this huge love story between, and the acting too. Nick Offerman of Parks and Recreation, Ron Swanson.
I had a double take. I'm like, you're kidding me that that's him. Like, really? No, it was one of those episodes. Like, I rewatch things like crazy. If I like something, it makes me happy. I'll put it on, and it's my comfort watch for the day or whatever. I don't think I can rewatch that one yet, just
I haven't
because
watched it
like,
yet.
it was just so hard in the feels, and it was very unexpected, and I'm very, very happy that they went through with that change. It definitely worked. It gave the viewers a break from all the sadness of
Zombie
losing
kiss.
Tess and going to the next zombie kiss, and then, like
It's good, man.
the other things. But I loved it. It was it made, they were completely different when it comes to like what's it called? My brain does not work today. They're just very different people. They have very different like beliefs, I guess, personalities too, and like one's more I guess one's more like conservative than the other, or like they have like certain big differences that in today's world it's a big deal, and when everybody else is dead or dying, are you really going to let those differences keep you from being with someone you love, or are you really going to let that define who you are as a person, and when you can just start over, or you get like, it's kind of like a second chance, and he he's happier with it, and he's happier with Frank and everything, and it's just
then he was so being this kind of like, Bill at the start, Nick Offerman is this kind of person we've gotten to know like as a character on the internet, this like kind of conspiracy theorist, terminally online, like 9/11 was an inside job kind of wing nut. And to kind of see him peel that away and to see how much hurt that involves was both kind of relevant and really well done. By the way, and I love how it engaged like a lot of my emotions. Like I was very sad. I also laughed. I thought it was kind of funny. Like that one bit when when Frank, who's played by Murray Bartlett from White Lotus, was like, you're a conspiracy nut. You say not an inside job. The government's run by Nazis. And he's like, the government is run by Nazis. Well, like, now, but not back then. Like, yeah, sure. Now with the sci-fi Nazi government, which is just, it was like you were saying earlier that comedies are hard to do. It's tricky to do like a joke that just kind of rises completely naturally and doesn't feel forced. Like I laughed out loud at that part. And I always love when a story, like I think if you have a really good story, like it's going to hurt you in the heart, it can also make you laugh really loud, because as long as you're like really riding that wave of truth. And this one did it. I was just engaged the whole way through. I thought it was enthralling, like Julie said. It was just so good. Now,
I was definitely sobbing by the end.
How do you feel about it has gotten some critiques. Like some people have said that by the way, let me just say this. I have, because of my wonderful position editing comments, I have seen some outright homophobic stuff. I mean, I think that's been pretty much drowned out by the support, which is great, but like it's definitely out there. And sometimes people will like kind of couch it as in like, well, it sucked because what's the point of having them be gay or whatever? Like, why do we have to slow down and tell this story? And just like, you can just say you don't like gay people. It's fine.
Yeah, seriously, because if these people are bothered by that, I can't wait till season 2. That's all I'm saying.
How do you feel about the critique that while it was good, it was like a side story? Like we wanted to see more of Joel and Ellie's kind of progression. This didn't add anything to the narrative, which is kind of the critique going around.
It didn't. But first of all, the fact that the guy who what do you mean you disagree?
I have to agree. You make your point, and I will tell you how it really goes down.
Fine. Whatever. I'm just kidding. So no, I liked I feel like just the fact that the person who came up with the story, the game creator, is part of this. He helped write this.
True. Yes.
And he said, I want to write it like this. Like I read an interview that he said that, hopefully I'm remembering right, that he did make the choice of changing it because he wanted that change for that story, and he wanted to show it off because, like you said, in the game you can't witness this. In the game you'd have to, go to the table, pick up the paper, and the paper goes in front of the screen, and you'd read it.
You could play the piano with like different buttons, like Guitar Hero.
Yes, you can do that. But to get like a sense of the story, because sure, the game is about Joel and Ellie trying to get Ellie to her destination and everything and all that stuff. But what's a show without showing you how others are also affected in the show? You know what I mean? Like you like in Game of Thrones, you saw everybody else, like everybody's situation.
Sure.
And it's like two completely different types of shows, but it's important to see just how like real life is affected by it. How like people with different personalities and different ways of thinking end up together, and how people when they get sick, like what can they do about it? Their options, and it's just it's just showing what the norm is, and I think that's important. Sure, it slowed things down a little. It definitely did. It was out of the hour and however many minutes, hour
15.
Only, hour 15. Yeah, I think it was like a 50-minute ordeal. Right, it was from start to finish. So it took up an entire episode, but it's important to be able to see that side of the story too, just so you can get an overall feel for the world, get more invested, and then die of heartbreak later. I'm just kidding.
And later, just go on the couch and little ball.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I think.
I see. I see Nicole's point that it was a nice diversion and a sweet story, but I want to get back to the main action. Which, I get it. I do think that partly because I know like where the full story goes, and I played the game and I know how it ends. It's like I think the episode that we'll think about it a lot as it goes on in terms of the themes of everything, because Joel's story in particular throughout, I won't spoil any event, but the whole story is him kind of learning to open back up after being hurt by losing his daughter, losing Tess, and just kind of being able to connect again and where that leads him. And Bill's story is a lot like that. He's a guy closed off. I'm sure he was hurt. You don't become a 9/11 truther who booby traps your house because you're just great and doing well. Like, he was definitely hurt, and then he gets kind of drawn out of this, and he succeeds. Like, he has a success story. That, I think, will kind of hang over Joel's journey for the rest of the show. Because the reason this episode to me like made this like, this show is going to be that good is because a show isn't just about, like, to me, like the events. It's about what do the events mean. And while of course I acknowledge that this episode didn't really move the literal plot forward, even though Ellie and Joel do some stuff, it's like a big marker telling you this is what the story means. And I think that will come in really emotionally handy later on during some of the big events. We're going to think back on this.
Yep.
And it's going to get us.
We're going to talk about this again.
Yes. When sort of there are going to be echoes of it later in the story of Joel and Ellie. So I get that it didn't actually literally advance the narrative of this story, but I do think it was really important for creating kind of blowing up the context of the show. And now it can mean more than it did before. So I thought it was important. I thought it was great. I would have a hard time believing there's going to be a better episode of this is like at the end of the year. This is going to be in contention for like best episode of the year. This was just really good. I really liked it a lot.
This was a really good episode. It was very good.
Any other thoughts on it?
No, just anxious to see what happens next.
I've seen the next one, and it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting more. That's the last one that I've seen. After that, I'm in the same boat as all of you peasants, and I really want some more screeners. So hopefully HBO comes through. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got. Okay. Zach has a great comment. Well, hopefully, I haven't read the whole thing. Bill and Frank are a parallel for Joel and Ellie. The whole episode provides context for the note left to Joel. The note persuaded Joel to bring Ellie west. Say it didn't further the story. It's just false. I agree with Dan that also the theme will be throughout the whole show. All right, me and Zach on a wavelength. Although again, if you, I also get the Nicole's perspective that it didn't really further the story. That totally valid. But to me, it definitely enriched it. And me and Zach are like this. All right. Camila, are you or anybody else out there in internet land watching anything else lately you want to talk about quickly?
Well, like I said earlier, I watched all 30 MCU movies from
of course.
to
Yes,
today.
you've been very, very busy.
Yes. I watched Love and Thunder. Thor, Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you ready for a very controversial opinion?
I'm ready for it. Yes, hit me.
I loved it.
Oh, you loved it. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wait. Did I dream you saying that you didn't like it?
No, you didn't. You didn't dream. I told you I didn't like it. I've rewatched it 5 times since.
5 times?
Because of one person, Christian Bale. I that's what I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. He was absolutely, Julie, he was absolutely like, he stole the show. He stole the show with his acting. And just the end, like, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know who's watched it, who hasn't watched it, and doesn't want it spoiled. But the end, I was not expecting the end at all whatsoever. And that just, like, it kicked me. It was like a soft spot that I didn't know existed. And it was just, like, when the movie ended and words are said, I'm like, oh my God, this makes all sense now. So I went back and rewatched it and, like, caught little things that I hadn't caught the first time, and little things. And I absolutely
little things
could do without the first hour and 16 minutes. It's too much, like, too many failed attempts at humor.
That is a pretty sizable chunk.
Yeah, no, it's and the whole Zeus thing was just stupid to me anyway. But the ending, I think it's like from an hour and 16 minutes in later or after that, that the movie just becomes so much better. But anyway, I've been watching that, trying to catch up on Critical Role and on the current campaign. And I watched all the 12 episodes of season 2 of Vox Machina, so I have to write a couple more things. And
are you happy with the news that they're going to adapt the Mighty Nine campaign?
Mighty Nine, yeah, I'm very excited about that. I love them. I'm so excited.
Nice. They are riding high over there. I saw over the weekend really briefly. I skipped the theaters the first time, but after the Oscars came out, they put it back in the theaters. I was able to see in the theaters Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Extremely high energy, very creative all the way through, endearing. I laughed. I thought it was funny, kind of funny, like an esoteric, wacky, that's so random kind of way, but also it has a heart. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really fun. I think it could easily win some Oscars. Michelle Yeoh was terrific. Awesome. She was the highlight.
I love her in everything she's ever in. So good.
Yeah,
I just
excellent.
love her.
I remember her back in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragons when I first saw her. Oh my God. And yeah, I immediately, I still recall that. I thought she stole the show in that. She steals the show in this, although she's like the headliner here.
She's just really good.
If you can see it, I recommend it.
Cool.
All right. Shall we do our final segment, the WiC News Lightning Round?
Oh, snap. Let's do it.
Okay. Now, these were written by Daniel Roman and made for Daniel Roman, so I apologize if they are not in your subject area. What say we just dive in and see what happens?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
20 seconds on the clock. Camila. Warner Bros. Discovery has taken Westworld off of HBO Max, not there, the Nevers 2, but now it will be streaming on Roku and Tubi, along with other HBO programs that have been banished from HBO Max. Your thoughts?
I think they're embarrassed because they screw that series up so hard that they're like, it doesn't exist anymore. No, it's cool because I never got to watch the last season, so I'm gonna go to that and watch it, even though I absolutely hated season 3. So, oh, I beat the 20 seconds. I beat the buzzer.
Excellent. I never beat the buzzer. I'm always bad at it. Unless.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
All
Hit
right.
me.
Let's see. Dan. Noah Schnapp starts filming Stranger Things 5 in May. Thoughts, comments?
That's coming up. We're getting the first previews of when the final season of Stranger Things is going to be filmed. May sounds good. I'm sure that means it'll be filming for maybe even into 2024, and we'll see it in 2024, and I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it, and it's had a good run. Good for Stranger Things and Noah Schnapp. I beat it too.
Yeah. Oof.
All right. So far, we are 2 for 2. This is excellent. Okay. We keep saying win-win. All right. Okay. Dana would have loved this one. Camilla, the 4th and 5th seasons of The Witcher are still moving forward. Henry Cavill's out, Liam Hemsworth is in, and they're going to be made back to back for what looks like the big finale. Your thoughts?
I've been saying that The Witcher ends after season 3 for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not. I say good for them for realizing they made a mistake and they're gonna end it in 2 seasons. That's great. But I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, that'll be a weird bridge to cross. We'll see when we get there.
Okay, well, this one. Phoebe Waller-Bridge making a Tomb Raider series for Amazon.
Amazon cannot get enough video. They're making a God of War show. They're making a Fallout show. Now they're going to do a Tomb Raider show. They are determined to make video games happen. Jeff Bezos is a giant nerd, I guess. Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Tomb Raider show. I mean, okay, fine. I don't know. I'm not sure Tomb Raider is one of the series that really needs more movies. I did not beat the buzzer. Okay, we're done.
I don't think it does either.
Whatever, make it happen. Oh, okay, here's one, a sad one. Actor Anna Wershing, who voiced Tess in the Last of Us video game, passed away from cancer this week.
Yeah, she's only 45 years old.
I know.
So sad. She's so pretty, and she's just so accomplished with Tess and everything. It's just it's a shame. Yeah, sad stuff.
We don't need the buzzer for that one.
No, we don't need the buzzer.
Disrespectful.
Thanks. No buzzer. Thanks, Richard. Let's see. So did Lisa Loring, the original actor who played Wednesday Addams.
Yep, back in the 1960s Addams Family TV show, Lisa Loring, Wednesday, I think she was 64. So, at least she lived a decently long life. She had some other work after that. Apparently, she inspired partially the famous viral dance from the new Wednesday show. Didn't really watch the Addams Family, but respect to her. Yeah. I thought we said no buzzers. No, I'm kidding. All right.
Oops.
That's so good. Okay. Going down the wire here. Here's a cool little tidbit. Camilla, Avatar star Zoe Saldana has now appeared in 4 of the 6 highest grossing movies of all time. Can you name them?
Endgame, Infinity War, Avatar 1, and Avatar 2.
Work. You got it.
Ta-da! Did I really? Are you?
Yeah. No, that's it.
Wow.
Although her skin is either blue or green. She's like
blue or green.
Except as herself. Yeah.
It took me forever to realize that she was Gamora because I'm like, wait, if you make that blue, that looks like the chick from Avatar. Oh my god, that's her.
Good for her, though. I mean, this is gonna be a nice little thing to pin on you. I mean, she technically beats James Cameron, who only like what? You directed 3 of the biggest. I've been in 4. James.
All right. Well, and the last one, I believe, Percy Jackson and the Olympians added a bunch of new cast. Lance Reddick as Zeus, Toby Stevens as Poseidon, and Jessica Parker Kennedy as Medusa. This thing is getting stacked. It is Medusa. Yes. What do you think?
Neat. I have not read the Percy Jackson books. I didn't see the original movies, but it's gonna be a Disney Plus series. I like Lance Reddick. He's talented. From the John Wick, from Resident Evil, from The Wire. He's always good. Yay, good for it. I hope the show succeeds because Greek mythology is fun and Medusa has snakes in her hair. I like it's neat.
Hopefully it'll be a better Zeus than the Love and Thunder days. Oh my god. I love Russell Crowe, but
Russell Crowe.
It was Russell Crowe, but it wasn't him that was the problem. It's just the way he was in.
What was wrong with him? He's just like, I didn't see it.
He was just absolutely he was just a joke. Okay. He was just the one big joke.
Yeah.
One big joke. If you have nothing to do, like go sit for like an hour and a half and watch that movie and then be like, oh yes. One big Greek guy impression, seriously, yes.
Oh, with an accent?
Yeah.
Better not. Let's end it before I try a Greek accent. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Thank you,
Daniel. We hope you're doing okay with the snow monster.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I worked on an outro.
Oh, I will let you do it. First, just let me just say that you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, wherever podcasts are available in downloadable form. Also, next week we're not going to do a live show because our producer, lovely talented producer Durante, will be out. But we're going to pre-record a show for you. So we're going to have a show at the same time slot, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, Facebook and YouTube. When it's coming, Facebook and YouTube channel. But it'll be a recorded show, so it won't be live next week. But we'll be here. We wouldn't leave you like that. And I hear that you have an outro?
All right, it's nothing super exciting. It's just silly.
Hit it.
Cool. This was the Cam and Dan show. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 2 rights did make an airplane. Sorry. It's terrible. It's a terrible outro. Terrible.
And we're out.